Over the years, Quantic Dream has garnered quite the reputation of delivering a mostly narrative-driven experience combined with quick-time events and simple controls that allow you to interact with its characters and decide the outcome of their stories. Detroit Become Human is no different in this regard, but it honestly feels like one of the best titles in the developer's repertoire, in addition to possibly being one of the best of its kind. The game takes place in the not-so-distant future where society has made a fair amount of progress with regards to technological advancements. One of these advancements was the creation of androids and their integration into everyday life in order to serve their human masters. However, this is not to everyone's liking, and not all have chosen to embrace this change in society, which causes a fair amount of disdain towards these helper machines. This constant aggression towards them, and sometimes other factors, causes them to break through their programming of following orders and then end up gaining consciousness. Once this has occurred, they are capable of free will and are then referred to as deviants. The narrative focuses on three main characters, who are all androids, each with their own motives. First up is Connor, who is sent by Cyberlife to assist the police force in hunting down deviants in order to understand why they are going through this change. Next up is Cara, who is kept around to do housekeeping and also to look after a little girl named Alice, who she then saves from her abusive father. The two then run away in search of a safe place where they can be happy. Finally, we have Marcus, an android who is kept around to take care of a painter who was taken ill and is confined to a wheelchair, but ends up spearheading the android revolution as they fight for equal rights. As you progress through the story, the game will switch characters automatically at the end of each chapter. This has been executed brilliantly, as you don't end up playing with a single character for too long. Additionally, each chapter doesn't last longer than 45 minutes. It could very well take longer if you happen to get stuck, but these short chapters and character changes keep things exciting. The pacing is great, and the atmosphere noticeably changes with each character that you switch to. The story is quite well written and ultimately quite a memorable experience. The overarching narrative deals with the topic of existentialism and what it actually means to be alive. Additionally, it touches on xenophobia in a sense, but instead of there being dislike and prejudice of foreigners from another country, it's directed at the androids. When it comes to the story, there are many options for how it will all unfold, and this is determined by the choices you make. From the very beginning, you are able to make choices with lasting consequences. Some of the outcomes can even result in a character's death. Think of Detroit Become Human as a more interactive version of a choose-your-adventure book with an abundance of approaches to take and a fair amount of different endings to see. The real difference here is that it's difficult to not care about the characters and what happens to them, so you always end up feeling like you want to make the right choice. Personally, playing through the game attempting to make riskier decisions had me feeling reluctant to do so. This was simply because I was so invested in each of their respective journeys. The game also features a flowchart which can be accessed once a chapter has been cleared, allowing you to see the available alternative paths. It's even possible to load up a specific checkpoint within a chapter if you want to skip a certain point. This is best done once the story has been cleared for the first time, however. This way you're able to have a unique experience based off of your impulsive choices. Gameplay is mostly comprised of navigation around an area combined with quick-time events. It's fairly easy to pick up and play, and navigation works well. It never feels clunky as you make your way through a chapter. For the most part, you have a sizable window in which to complete the input. Other times, such as in combat scenarios, the input prompts come at you pretty quickly and you have to hit them accurately in order to walk away unscathed. The amount of tension I felt when trying to get through one of these scenarios was crazy, but in all honesty, I absolutely loved it. I felt like I was involved to a greater degree than just hitting buttons when prompted. I felt like I was responsible for keeping that character alive. It's not all over if you do miss a few prompts, however, and you would actually need to be completely dismal to get a character killed in a fight. One of the best gameplay features is definitely Connor's detective mode. He's able to analyze clues at a crime scene and then produce a digital reconstruction of exactly what transpired. It's really cool to play around with, and I wish we were presented with more opportunities to make use of it throughout the game. Detroit Become Human is one pretty game. It's actually more than pretty, and the amount of detail that has gone into both the visuals and the facial animation is seriously impressive. To complement the facial animations, the voice acting is equally excellent. Brian Deckard, Valerie Curry and Jesse Williams are to be commended for their portrayal of Connor, Carter and Marcus respectively. Connor probably stood out for me more than anyone else because of Deckard's performance of delivering a cold and calculated android while at the same time displaying a degree of innocence to his character. Detroit Become Human definitely feels like one of Quantic Dream's best titles. Everything about the game has been handled in a way that doesn't feel intrusive when telling its story. It's simple even when touching on topics such as existentialism and xenophobia, and it's hard to not get invested in the characters. It's possibly one of the best games of its kind that I've had the pleasure of experiencing. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you got your hands on Detroit Become Human, let me know what you thought of the game in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.